I'm Francis Quarles, and this is another afternoon read outside. Well, America is number one again. Raise the flag and let's have a parade. America is finally number one in the world again, beating out major competitors such as China, Russia, Belarus, Cuba, and Rwanda. Better still, doing it with only about a 20th of the world's population. Are you ready? We now have the highest incarceration rate in the world. We house a quarter of the world's prisoners. Way to go, let's hear it for progress. Since 1970, the prison population has increased by 7-fold, while our population as a nation has increased only by 50%. Why? How can this be in our Christian nation filled with brotherly love? How easily we forget, brothers and sisters. Even though wrongdoers may deserve to have the book thrown at them, it is not always wise to exact the full measure of justice. The point of criminal punishment was to condemn the wrongdoer, humble the wrongdoer, induce him to make amends and learn his lesson. And he went right back to work after serving his sentence. With all the love and caring, we still switched from rehabilitation to housing a prison nation in mass incarceration. Then treating the release like the new Jim Crow, a stigmatized underclass excluded from voting, juries, jobs, housing, education, and public benefits. The burden also falls on the innocent women and children who lose fathers, husbands, boyfriends, as well as breadwinners. In colonial America, we stuck with our Christian roots and used forgiveness. There, for the grace of God, go I. Punishment was swift and brief, with the convicted either whipped, humiliated in the town square, or locked away for a temporary period. Very few were hung, exiled, or mutilated, and with his debt paid to society and the victim, he would re-enter the community and the workforce. There was no permanent underclass. So now, 30 years into the war on drugs, we have gone from around 300,000 inmates to over 2 million, with a disproportionate amount being minority. Well, more and more arrests end in felony convictions as prosecutors have gotten tougher. Now, law enforcement is not a tool of white supremacists to oppress blacks, as some would like us to believe. Black communities suffer more from being left unprotected or underprotected by law enforcement than from being mistreated as suspects or defendants, though the latter gets more attention. Most crime is intraracial, so black victims suffer disproportionately at the hands of black criminals. Poor choices are not because your ancestors were mistreated and somehow you feel disenfranchised, and this absolves you of your crime. All adults of sound mind know the difference between right and wrong, understanding that poverty and racism are no excuse for choosing to break the law. The police do arrest too many people in order to collect fines, fees, tickets, and the like, disrupting communities and in some cases exacerbating the fatherless problem. To deter crime effectively, punishment must speak to the same short-sighted wrongdoers who commit crime, not primarily through threats of long punishment far off in the future, but more through swift, certain sanctions that pay victims back immediately and knitting the wrongdoers back into the societal fabric. Immediate and predictable punishment, yet modest, is what we need. The moral roots of the tree of justice have rotted away. Some have forgotten how to blame and punish, and far too many in this Christian nation have forgotten how to forgive. Over-imprisonment is wrong, but not because wrongdoers are blameless victims or a white supremacist conspiracy. It is wrong because state coercion excessively disrupts work, families, and communities, the building blocks of society, with too little benefit to show for it. Our strategies for crime have failed, not only on the short-sighted impulsive criminal, but also the careerist criminal. Crime deserves punishment, but it is wise as well as humane to temper justice with a little mercy. I'm Francis Quarles. Enjoy your day.